Hey, what's going on, fam? This your boy KC4L Wrestling Takes back in the freaking IWC streets. We're back, baby. I've been gone, but I'm back. And there's a lot of things that have transpired while in my absence. People have been posting videos like crazy, talking all kinds of crazy stuff. But your man is back to bring order to the IWC. Ladies and gentlemen, right off the jump, I want to talk about it. Jade Cargill is officially signed with the WWE. Multiple year contract. You know what? Let me tell you something. As much as I get on WWE's case about booking us, that's the biggest issue I'm going to have moving forward with this company, is about the presentation with black talent. And they got a homegrown talent like Jade Cargill in they mix, and it looks like she's going to the main roster. Now, I'm one that kind of wish she would head to NXT to get the reps that she needs to get, because I personally think Jade needs more work in the ring. Outside of that, Jade was everything. She had star-making ability. Tony Khan, I don't know why the heck he allowed her to dip. Like I said, I personally think, listen, this is just me. I personally think the reason why she is no longer in AEW is a lot to do with the rest of the fans themselves. Because, let's call it for what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Just like WWE's wrestling fan base is full of white supremacists, AEW has just as many. So, there's a lot of white supremacist wrestling fans that seem to have an issue with Jade Cargill. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that she, with her wrestling ability. It ain't got nothing to do with that. But I personally believe she had enough of the AEW fan base, and she said, look, screw this. Tony Khan on bull jive. The AEW fan base is a bunch of white supremacists as well. I got to get my behind up out of here. Now, here's the deal. She's leaving one white supremacist wrestling organization to go join what I coined the biggest white supremacist wrestling organization. Biggest. Now, here's the deal. They giving her the red carpet right now. Presentation is going to be the key, ladies and gentlemen. I don't give a care what anybody says in the IWC. Nobody wants to talk about it. They don't. They never want to talk about presentation. We get carried away about representation. It ain't got nothing to do with no freaking representation. Representation, listen, that's an easy thing. All you gotta do is just put a black face on something. That's it. There's your representation. The problem is it's always coming down to freaking presentation. This is why I get on TK's case every day. I get on his case. Now, before people start talking about Shawn Michaels, let me tell you something. I thought Carmelo Hayes' run as an NXT champion was subpar. It was decent, but it could have been a whole lot better. He seemed to be the only NXT champion I've seen get treated like a straight up chump. Straight up. Like I said, now I'm happy for Trick, because I'm glad Trick got that North American Championship off of that circus clown Dominic. I'm glad. Excellent. That was a wise decision by Shawn Michaels. But presentation, ladies and gentlemen, that's the biggest issue with our talent, regardless of promotion. Nobody wants to talk about it. We get carried away about freaking representation. That's all these fools get carried away about. Is representation. That's all I hear. Representation is. I'm like, forget freaking representation. It's about the freaking presentation. Presentation is always the key. I feel like a freaking broken record talking about this stuff. I'm the only one that always break this down. Don't nobody want to talk about it. Nobody. We talk about representation. We don't never talk about presentation. Nobody talks about presentation because they afraid they're going to hit the nail and they're going to get somebody upset. Man, look, tell the truth. That's why we in these IWC streets. This is what we here for. We here to tell the freaking truth about what's really going on. You understand what I'm saying? Tell the freaking truth. That's the name of the game. Tell the freaking truth. Be upfront. Don't sugarcoat nothing. That's why I feel like I'm one of the realest in the IWC when I'm talking about wrestling. Like I said, I understand. I don't have the best dialect like most of these cats in the IWC. But you know what? I come here and I try to be as real and as authentic as I possibly can, if you understand what I'm saying. But you know what? Like I say, I think it's a huge pickup for the E, but it's going to come down to freaking presentation. And again, it's also going to come down to her getting better in the ring. Two things for Jade: presentation, in-ring ability. Now, let's jump ship. Adam Copeland made his debut last night at WrestleDream. Now, I did not watch No Mercy. I heard No Mercy was a fantastic show. So, overall, I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10 just because of what everybody said. Like I said, I'm happy for Trick. Dragunov is the new NXT champion. I absolutely have no problem with that. I feel bad for Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton really ain't had an opportunity to drink a cup of water at all. She came, she did what she had to do, and Becky stole the title. But they had a banger on Saturday night. Outside of that, I don't really know what else happened on the show. But like I said, everybody told me it was a successful show. So I'm giving Shawn Michaels an 8 out of 10. Now, WrestleDream. WrestleDream was a great pay-per-view. My biggest issue, it seems to always be the big thing with TK. You don't need everybody and their mama's mama on a freaking pay-per-view show. You don't. You honestly do not need everybody and their mama. Like I say, bro, TK, get yourself a freaking backbone and tell these circus clowns, if your storyline don't mean nothing, I'm not putting you on a pay-per-view. I don't care. Eddie Kingston versus Shibata had no business being on that show. I don't care how good the match was. It had no business being on the show. None of the pre-show matches deserve to be on the show. None of them. Absolutely none of them. Matter of fact, I'm taking the Young Bucks Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, and they going on the pre-show. I'll tell you the bullface truth. Claudio versus Josh Barnett, no business being on the pay-per-view. What else? Who else? Like I said, and none of the pre-show matches. So if you get rid of the pre-show matches, you get rid of Shibata and them, and you get rid of Claudio and them, and you put the Young Bucks on the pre-show, and the other 8 matches, which I had no problem with. I did have a problem with FTR going over Aussie Open. Aussie Open should have won those tag team titles. FTR ain't doing nothing. They homeboys not in WWE anymore, so there's absolutely no point of them having a tag team title. I get it. I'm an FTR head. I think FTR is one of the greatest tag teams on the planet. But those circus clowns should have lost on last night. MJF did work by himself. I thought the Righteous were going to take those titles. I thought we were going to get the reveal of who was behind the devil mask. I do like the fact that MJF addressed it, and he straight said, I did not attack Jay White. Somebody ran into my locker room. Some schmuck ran into my locker room and stole my devil mask. So that right there tells you all you need to know. And then the words from Matt Taven of the Kingdom on Collision Saturday night, he said if Adam Cole has any guts, he's going to pull up to Roderick Strong's house. I was like, wait a minute, what is he talking about? It's a possibility, man, that the Kingdom was behind that beatdown. And who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe Adam Cole was wearing that mask. We don't know. We're going to find out sooner or later. Match of the night. Swerve versus Hangman. I mean, Seattle was hot. They were in Swerve's territory. Prince Nana with that silly, goofy clown dance. He got that foolishness over. Man, they did work. Like I said, I know a lot of people think Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan was the match of the night. Hey, to each his own. It was a good technical match. I just personally wish that match had more story. I don't give a care that this is about who's the best technical wrestler. You had every opportunity for Zack Sabre Jr. to show up last Saturday night on Collision, help Ricky beat Bryan. This way, that storyline, that match has more heat. TK and them didn't do that. So I really didn't have that much of even though the match was a very good match, I didn't have that much of a care because Tony Khan and them didn't put forth an effort. He's going based on name merit alone. No, forget that bull jive. I'm not paying no attention to these circus clowns that straight up will tell you that this match was great because it was based off of merit. Nobody. Hangman and Swerve won the night for me. They won the night for me. Ricky got the dub over Wheeler Yuta. I mean, there's a lot of speculation that Ricky on his way out, TK saw that. He said, all right, Ricky, I'm going to give you a win. Their fools seem to think that you're leaving because Jade left. I'm like, I still think Ricky's leaving after 2025. That's just me. I think after he's going to do one more year at AEW because his contract is up in 2025. He's going to do one more year, and then after that, he's going to join ship. He's going to jump ship. I expect it. I'm expecting it. So it won't be a shocker when he doesn't resign in 2025. It will not be a shocker. Let me see what else on the show. Julia Hart versus Chris Statlander for the TBS title. Miss Julia Hart has improved 100%. There are people who really are not on the bandwagon yet. I understand why. I get it. But from what I saw, her and Chris had a banger, man. They did work. They did a great job. They did a great job. And I like Brody King being her lackey, being up in her corner, just like how she was in their corner when they was running around with the trios titles. But Julia Hart, she came in there. She tried to do a little something, but Chris Statlander said, no, ma'am, you're not winning this championship off of me. I'm the TBS champion. I'm the one that beat the undefeated. I like the fact that they acknowledged that on Collision. She said, I'm the one that sent Jade Cargill packing. She was running around here with that cool reign she had, but I'm the one that beat her. I'll beat her. Hey, you know what? I like it. I just want them to build. I just want us to give more care of Chris's reign. That's all I'm asking. Like, Chris is doing work. Chris is great. Chris is great. I've never really had a problem with her wrestling. I've always been concerned about her knees, just making sure she stays healthy. But I just need more oomph because, TK, we need to care about the women's division. I don't know if you noticed. There seem to be a lot of people that still be complaining about your women's division. But I thought that matchup was solid. Chris gets the dub. Kenny Omega and them. Sammy Guevara, Will Ospreay, Takeshita versus Kenny, Kota Ibushi, and Jericho. I thought this was a very solid matchup. You know Jericho no more than winning. Sammy got the dub because of Don the Clown. Great. Now, here's the deal. Now, listen, we know AEW. Listen, wrestling is always going to take pot shots at believers. So Mel Coleman art then put up a picture of, remember when Christ was sitting at the Last Supper with the disciples? She then turned Don Callis and his goons as if they was sitting at the Last Supper. Now, there were some pictures that were blanked out. That tells me there are more clowns to join the Don Callis family. So this is not the end. There are more goons that are coming through. We just don't know when and how that's going to happen. But I saw that mess. I said, yeah, it is what it is on that. But I thought this was a solid 6-man tag team match. The right team went over. Like I said, FTR didn't have absolutely no business retaining those titles against Aussie Open. Aussie Open should have won. Brian and Zack Sabre Jr., decent match. Ricky versus Yuta, decent match. And then the main event, Christian and Darby. I mean, I did not see Nick Wayne being the reason why Darby lost. I did not. And I love that about TK. I love it. I called him the king of the swerve. I call him the kings of the swerves. No pun intended talking about swerve, but I'm telling you, did not see Nick Wayne being the reason why Christian would retain the championship. However, the reason why they had that main event is because Mr. Adam Copeland, a.k.a. formerly known as Edge, pulled up. And it looks like the match is already set up for the October, let's see, today is the 2nd, right? October the 3rd. So Dynamite is coming on tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be coming on at the same exact time as NXT. Very interesting. So, you know, the ratings situation, the ratings talk, all fools are going to be talking about, okay, who's going? I'm like, listen, you know me. I'm not going to be there live. Like I said, I don't be live like I used to. Like I said, I especially now with all my work that I be doing. But I will be coming home to watch. Adam Copeland is taking on Luchasaurus, so the match is already set. But what I need Edge to confront the crowd right at the jump. Kick the show off with Edge. You want them Raiders to spike up? Kick the show off with Edge, a.k.a. Adam Copeland. That's what I'm doing. Adam joining AEW, I think that was a great decision. I personally believe Adam came over not just because, you know, he homeboys with Christian or whatever. This is the move to help storytelling in AEW. Because a lot of us get on their cake. I can say, how many times have we said that the wrestling in AEW is great? we don't know. I don't ever really complain about the wrestling. I'll just be more going in on the storytelling, because that's what I want. I want better booking. I want better story. I want my pay-per-views to mean something. And I don't want everybody and their mama's mama on the freaking show. You kill those 5 clown matches that weren't needed, you get Shibata and them out of here, because, I mean, listen, I'm an Eddie Kingston guy, but him and Shibata really didn't do nothing for me. And then, like I said, Claudio and Josh Barnett, that didn't really do anything for me either. Those matches that you could have saved. Then all the crap on the doggone pre-show with the trios titles, and then the mixed tag team match, and then Nick Wayne versus Lucha. I honestly didn't. Like, these are matches that you could save for TV. Save it for freaking TV, man. You got 3 shows. You got Dynamite, you got Collision, you got Rampage. Spread that, and heck, you even got Ring of Honor now. Spread that foolishness out. Spread it out. Don't put all the clown crap on the show thinking like, hey, we had a successful pay-per-view. Edge is here. No, man, we don't care. I'm telling you, I don't care. And I'm an AEW head. I'm just being 100% with you, man. Like I said, if you do that, I would have probably gave this pay-per-view possibly a 9 out of 10. But no, I'm a realist. So I'm keeping it 100% with you. Overall, I thought the pay-per-view was a good pay-per-view. It was just too freaking long. It's too long, man. You cut those 5 matches that I told you. You get rid of that trash. 1 on the pre-show, Young Bucks. That's right, the Young Bucks with the 4-way tag team, man. Ray Phoenix then messed around and got himself hurt. You had Hook, OC, Young Bucks, the Guns, and then the Lucha Bros. Young Bucks, Young Bucks win. I would have put that match on the doggone pre-show, ladies and gentlemen. I would have put that match on the pre-show, and that's just me. That's just me. But like I said, for me, match of the freaking night, Hangman Swerve, they killed it. And Seattle, listen, I told you that Seattle was owed a pay-per-view. They did not disappoint. Even with the show being as long as it was, Seattle crowd was fantastic. Fantastic crowd. So overall, I enjoyed what I watched. Still too freaking long. You kill those 5 matches that don't need to be on the show, and you're looking at a possibly 9 out of 10 pay-per-view. But for me, I'm a realist. I'm sticking with an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10. Hey, if you watch the show, if you watch both shows, jump in my comment section and you tell me exactly what you felt about both shows. And ladies and gentlemen, your boy is officially back. I am back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. Your man has returned. I'm back. We getting ready to start cooking again. It's time to start getting this channel subscriptions numbers up. I'm still sitting at 285, I believe. It's time to get these numbers up. Hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Hey, it's on. I'll talk to y'all cats later. Holla at your boy. Boom.